What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at about 0.009, just below there, in fact. Consolidating at the lows here. It does seem as though, and I will say, it does seem as though we have a bit of a bearish pattern going on. Anybody know what this pattern is called here? This is what is known as it's a little known pattern known as a descending triangle. Now, descending triangles at the base of a downtrend, in my opinion, that doesn't sound too good. In fact, I think we had one of these before. If we go back all the way over here, kind of had one right here, didn't we? Flat lows right there. Descending structure here, and we broke out to the downside. Now, inevitably, we went up, and that's fine. Maybe it was a descending triangle, maybe it wasn't, but at least with that aspect, it didn't look like it prevailed too well for us. Here, oh wait, did we get a green day? We did get a green. Ooh, we got a green day. Hold on, we'll go over that in a second. Why that might be bullish. But here, if this bearish triangle is to be respected, the measure move is as such, right? High to low. Measured from the breakout, which would be at the low point here, that would take you down 22% all the way down to 0.066166. We put a line down there, right at that area, and we go back in time. Let's see. We keep on going back in time. Maybe we have to scroll way the hell out so we can go back in time. There's nothing. There ain't nothing stopping us, man. Maybe what? This little bit of consolidation, maybe. Other than that, there's nothing stopping us. So if we were to break out of this, that wouldn't be that encouraging in my opinion, because that does implicate a very, very far drop to go. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I'm under the suspicion that it could happen, but that it won't happen. I don't think that we're going to see that. Or maybe if we do break out, it's a kind of fake out endeavor that might scare you, but then immediately rip the other direction. That's if you break below this line at 0.0853. Okay, so that's just something that we should be aware of. However, another thing that we should be aware of before getting over or getting too bearish here is if we're looking at the daily time frame, we do have confirmed bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Yes, confirmed. It's confirmed. We've had the look. We almost deconfirmed it a couple days ago, but we have confirmed it officially today. With the green close, we got out of the oversold zone. We formed a higher low in the RSI and a lower low in the price. That bullish divergence is good for a move all the way up to about 0.0989. Okay, we didn't move up there yesterday. We got close. Does that suffice for a pump? Does that suffice for the bullish divergence? Maybe. To some degree it could, for sure. It absolutely could be. But I would think oftentimes with bullish divergence, you actually go through where the divergence formed. So I would think that we at least interact with this wicking point. These lows over here, something around maybe, I don't know, 1.1 cents to 1.05 cents, something from there. You know, from the current price, we're talking about a move that would at least be more than 10% to the upside. And that would be cool. That would be exciting. What else would be exciting about that is, if you've noticed, a move up to that area, and I'm just going to leave all the squiggles on there, would also break us out of this descending structure, our descending triangle, right? A move up that high would break you out to the upside. In other words, you would have a bearish pattern that is busted to the upside. And it's not common, but it does happen. Ascending triangle or descending triangles and ascending triangles can be bottoming and or topping patterns. They can be. And this is a very small pattern. I'm not expecting anything too significant off of it. I'm not saying because we break out of here that solidifies this as a low. It could. But I'm just, giving you some food for thought here. We look at the 4-hour time frame. It is certainly diverging. And what's crazy is if you look at it, actually, you've got on a 4-hour basis, you practically have an ascending triangle structure. And on the price, you have a descending triangle structure. So what's going to take over, the RSI or the price? I have a feeling the RSI might, you guys. That posturing in the RSI looks pretty good, pretty productive. The daily RSI, too, with that daily close yesterday, very productive. What I want to see from this next move is something that's greater than 1.1 cents. What I want to see is something that takes us above this high. That's what I want to see, and not just takes us above there. I mean something that breaks above there. I want to see something at 1.2 cents and beyond. Really, that's what I want to see. 1.1 cents. We need to crush it. We need to get above there. And if we do, we're really looking like what we've long been expecting to do. We're finding support at the land of the rising sun. The house of the rising sun is upholding its end of the bargain. We're upholding our end by buying more. I know everybody is. I can see it in the comments, man. I'm proud of you guys. Finding resistance on this line time and time again. We had a bear flag, or sorry, a bull flag It was a bull flag, not a bear flag, my bad. We had a bull flag for a very long time, for about, I don't know, let's see, how many days was that? Or no, we're not still in the bull flag. No, some people, you know, the less experienced types, they think that we're still in a bull flag, but we're definitely not. I would say we broke out of it probably here on this day. So we were for 47 days, about a month and a half. We were in a bull flag there, right? 2 weeks to move up, month and a half to consolidate, and we've broken out of it recently. We found support on it to a T, found support on that line perfectly. It's beautiful. And now with a move that would take us like this, there'd be no denying that we're breaking out to the upside. Bull flags, you guys, are very, very common and powerful patterns. If this is a bull flag, and I think that it is, if we take the measure move here from the low to the high of the flagpole, we put this at the base of the flag here. This measure move does not have to be met. It's not a requirement. It's just an idea. It's just an idea. Maybe this idea comes true. Maybe we blow through it, and maybe we fall just shy of it. Any of those can happen, right? It's possible, even with the bullish breakout, that you could double top and go to nothing. M patterns exist, but I doubt it. We're probably going to go, I would think, and at this point, you guys, at this point, I'm not 100% convinced. We don't have validation yet, but I'm starting to think we might have found our low for XCN. That might have been it, right? I want to be clear as to what I'm saying here, okay? Before we get carried on. Back on this day here. On this day, I made a post on x.com saying XCN just might have found its low. As we got over here, I started to forsake the rising sun. I thought that the house of the rising sun was going to forsake us, and I got a little bit preemptive there, right? A little bit back and forth, wishy-washy, whatever. Here, I was somewhat confident, and I made a post on X saying that I think that we might have just found our low at that price. Now, at this price right now, I'm a bit more confident. I actually genuinely, we don't have confirmation yet. There's not necessarily any reason to be confident. I just think we've had every opportunity to move down and we haven't taken it. We've got bullish divergence on a 4-hour and on a daily basis. The RSI, the indicators look good. The price is, I think, lying to us potentially. We're at a good area to find support. Maybe the best area to find support, perhaps. And if we do break out of here, we're likely going to see some immaculate growth all the way up. The measure move would take you to about 17.5 cents, 17.4 cents, right at this weekly high closing price right there. That's our measure move from this low. I feel so confident that this is the low that I feel comfortable taking this fib here from a high to a low and establishing this as our standard to look forward to. Now, if we look, I'm sorry, I keep clearing my voice. I'm not sorry. It's just part of it. Oof. Had some Italian food. I feel like I've got indigestion for the first time in a little while there. Haven't had that in a second, but man, it was some good stuff. Golden ratio 2618 broke just below the 1618. We just broke below it. We didn't find support at it. We found support just below it, in fact. Here, might we find support or resistance in this case just above it at the measure move? We might. But again, measure moves are just ideas. You can fall short of it. You don't have to hit it. You can fall short of it. And just short of that is the 1618 right there at about 14.6 cents. We could find resistance there. Beyond the golden ratio being there, let's make sense out of why 14.6, 14 cents, that area could be found as resistance as well. If you look at this time of accumulation that we had, yes, there's a lot of accumulation here. Price started to move. But then a lot more accumulation happened here, okay? This was, from July 1st until November 4th, September, or July, August, September, so all of July, August, September, October, and then to the beginning of November. So about 4 months there of accumulating. The lowest price, the highest price, let's just take from the highest price of that overall range right here. From there, if we go all the way up to 14 cents, all the way up, that's pretty damn close to 100x, right? And that's just at the highest price. If you take the lowest price, we're at 150x. All I'm trying to say is that at 14 cents or around that area, you're going to have a lot of people who have sizable gains. Sizable gains that maybe they haven't sold yet, but at this point they might see that 100x number come to play and they're going to take profits. I don't blame you. You see 100x, it's not a bad time to take profits, guys. That can happen. Even if that overall move could still turn into something that's greater than that, you could see a multi-100x or something by that. I mean, we really could go above 30 cents, not going to lie. But it makes sense that we could stop at 14 cents for a couple reasons, right? Golden ratio, measure move is around here, and of course the classic, the best reason of all, profit taking, of people who had a lot of opportunity, a plethora of opportunities to gather at these areas and see these immaculate areas to find resistance at, or even take profits at right here. It's very possible with the measure move that you could stop just below it. It's very possible that you could go just above it. What I doubt is going to happen is that we stop right in between the 1618 and the 1886 there. I don't think that we'll see the measure move. So we're either going to fall short of it, which would mean we stop at 14.6 cents, or we will exceed it. If we exceed it, 23 cents is the minimum target. 28 cents would be a potential maximum, and even prices, I don't know if we go up to 46 cents, man. That sounds, but maybe even prices above like 30 cents could come on the table. I would say 28 cents personally, just looking at this fib, that would be my expectation for the maximum. It's not common to get above the 200 and stay below the 2272, and I very much doubt we get there. Though we have made sense mathematically out of the possibility of seeing a 30-cent price and even prices around 40 cents, I don't think it's going to happen. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I'm anticipating something. If we're looking at this right here at 0.0894 right now, from this price to the golden ratio, that's a minimum expectation of a 16x, and what I would assume will take 2 months to achieve. 2 months, 2.5 months to achieve at most. Maybe 2 months, 2.5 and a week, something like that. And that would be a 16x at a minimum. The maximum that I would guess would be something on the lines of a 31x, you guys, right? That's insane growth. That's insane stuff right there. A 31x could turn $10 into $310. A 31x could turn $1,000 into 31K. 31x could do a lot for any amounts more than that, right? For sure. The minimum target that I would expect is definitely like a 16x, something like this, 16.5x, and in between there would be something on the lines of about a 26x. All these targets here. I forget where I was going with this, but again, just the idea here, right? The idea is that the measure move is right here, right at our prior all-time highs on a weekly closing basis, and we likely wouldn't stop there. So where are we going to go? It's either here or there. And even at a bare minimum, a 16x ain't bad, right? I don't really think I have anything else that I want to say. I feel like I did have something that I want to say, but I'm getting caught up here with myself. I don't know, man. Yeah, we've got bullish divergence, 4-hour time frame here. Looks pretty damn good. The 1-hour time frame, let's look at that. Looks actually really good as well. You're getting overbought. You're not getting oversold. Finding support at the 40. Moving up, moving down, but not as much. You are definitely moving up faster. I have a feeling, you guys. I really do have a feeling, and I want to just call it in this video. I think that we have found our low for OnyxCoin, and I don't think that we're going lower. Now that I've said that, we can finally get on with our bad selves and dump this thing. But no, likely, I really do mean it. I think that we found our low for OnyxCoin. And this past couple of days with Bitcoin and the rest of crypto is really what has helped kind of determine this for me. Now, I could see Bitcoin still dropping below this low. But if OnyxCoin can move up, if we can have this recovery that I'm talking about before Bitcoin drops, just because you drop back doesn't mean that you haven't found your low, right? You can see the same kind of drop we were expecting, but just from a higher price. It could take place from a higher price, or a higher price than that, or a higher price than that. You know what I mean? The volatility might be there, but as we move up, as we get above like 1.2 cents, 1.3 cents, we separate away from this area more. It'll be undeniable at that point that we're breaking out to the upside. You're going to see a lot of speculators who've had their eyes on this thing since the last pump, speculators that have had this eye on this thing for the last year, people who've been buying the highs and buying all the way down. You're going to have a lot more belief coming into this thing, and belief, hope, hype, all that stuff sets you up for higher growth and more growth to come. I don't think I have anything else I want to say, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. There's a lot of potential in this thing, and I think it's gonna happen right before our eyes here over the next couple of months. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you. Take it easy.